What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today we're going to be talking about a device that gets you shiny Pokemon with you doing absolutely nothing. Shiny hunting is a very well-known thing in the Pokemon community. You may have come across one in a previous game, or you might be playing Sword and Shield and you're hunting for them in raids in the wild, or hatching Pokemon in order to get these mutated, slightly discolored digital pocket monsters. But there's one thing I can tell you about shiny hunting: it sucks. It's a long and it's a boring process. I know it is, you know it is, shiny hunters know that it is. Yes, every once in a while, there's a chance it only takes like 30 attempts to find one, but for that time, there's a time that it takes 3,000 attempts to find one. It's all about a game of odds in the end. In Sword and Shield, by default, there's a 1 in 4,096 chance for you to find a shiny Pokemon. And there's a long list of things you can do to try to change that, to get yourself a sparkly boy, all the way as low or as high as 1 in 512. 1 in 512 compared to 1 in 4,096 sounds much better, right? Well, think about it this way. If you were to walk or bike or ride the train or bus to school or work every single day, you found $1 on the floor, it would take you 2 years to find that dollar on the floor. That's not great odds. We as a community always trying to find easier ways of hunting these Pokemon. When it comes to breeding, people have stuck coins under their circle pad to allow them to bike easier. You hunt for a Pokemon with a specific ability to make eggs hatch easier. You find the oval charm, you fill up your Pokedex for the shiny charm. You try to get a Ditto from another country, from a stranger on the internet. We do some pretty crazy stuff in order to just bring that chance of finding these Pokemon lower and lower to make your chance of getting it better. You watch Disney Plus to distract you from the boring autonomous work that you're doing. But we live in a day and age that when there's boring autonomous work, we have machines for that. And today, there is a machine that gets you shiny Pokemon. This is the Switch Up. Its core functionality is that it's a controller adapter, which lets you pair an Xbox One, 360, PS3, PS4, or Wii U Pro controller to your Switch and use it like a Switch Pro controller. It lets you pair it wirelessly or use a wired connection. It's compatible with the Switch and the Switch Lite. It also includes a USB-C dongle dock in order for you to use it with the Switch Lite or the Switch in handheld mode. It's very easy to find. It's readily in stock at GameStop and Eevee Games in America and Canada. You could also just order it online. It's like 20 bucks. But the unique part about this thing is that it's a game enhancer. And what it specifically does is it does a series of inputs in order to do things in games. For example, in Breath of the Wild, instead of doing the run whistle glitch with the horse call, you just hit one button and it does it for you. So you just hold the direction and boom, you're infinitely sprinting in that one direction. But when it comes to Pokemon and shiny hunting, there's a little bit more of a complicated process for that. And the company Collective Minds reached out to me with their new firmware on one of them for me to try out. Full disclosure, they sent it to me. I didn't know that it was on there already. I thought I had to update it. I did update it. Did not go well. Apparently I broke it. And then they overnighted me one from British Columbia to New Jersey. That couldn't have been cheap. It got here by 9 a.m. today and I was able to get it up and running. So shout out to them. They just won some internet points in my book. The idea of using machines to automate shiny Pokemon hunting has been around for actually quite a while, mostly with Arduino boards. I found a video on YouTube from someone who's used an Arduino to hunt for shiny Pokemon back in X and Y, measuring the amount of time that the bottom screen stays dark in between encounters. This was uploaded in 2014, and they were giving credit to someone who did it before them, so this idea has been around for quite a while. And more recently, Jay Witz put out a video last year called Pushing a Button for Rare Pokemon. In it, he discussed that to hunt for shiny Alolan Pokemon, you just press the A button in front of an NPC on a Joy-Con to trade for a Cantonian Pokemon for its Alolan variant. Any game veteran knows that this isn't a problem, as turbo controllers have been around as long as home consoles have. However, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee require you to use a single Joy-Con or handheld mode to play the game. He even at one point built something out of Legos to press the A button, which then I tried for myself, and it worked. Completely worked, and it actually averaged about 1.4 shiny Pokemon per full battery swap, which is kind of impressive. In that video, Jaywitz eventually tears down a Joy-Con and uses an Arduino to connect 2 pins simultaneously to simulate a button press. The Arduino is an amazing little motherboard that can let you do a lot of things. There's only one problem. It requires you to understand some amount of programming. And a lot of people are intimidated to get into doing something like that. But this little thumb drive boy right here, this kind of changes that. It's literally plug and play. All you have to do is take it, plug it into the side of your Nintendo Switch dock, or with the dongle provided, plug it into the bottom of your Switch or Switch Lite in handheld mode. The game that requires my map to be in the bottom left of the pause screen, an option in the bottom right of the pause screen. I have to have my breeding Pokemon in the daycare, I have to have the Rotom Bike, a Flame Body Pokemon, and the Oval Charm are recommended, and the Shiny Charm is suggested. Put the device into Pokemon mode, which, friendly reminder, this is beta firmware right now. Hold down the minus button, or on the Xbox One controller, it's the screen capture button, and then hit left on the D-pad. The controller vibrates to let me know that it picked up everything properly, and it begins shiny hunting Pokemon, or shiny breeding Pokemon. It pulls up the menu, changes the text speed to fast, pulls up the map, flies to the daycare to align the character properly, hops on the bike, and makes small circles to hatch an egg. The amount of time can be modified for however long it takes the egg to hatch. It then does some more laps to make sure that the Pokemon have enough time to breed. It will then fly back to the daycare, realigns the camera, grabs a new egg, replaces one of the hatched Pokemon from your party with the brand new egg, and repeats the whole process. It takes about 120 to 140 seconds for it to hatch and replace one of these Pokemon with a new egg. And it does it flawlessly. It's a game changer. This entire time that I've been recording, it's been doing it. Hang on. Boop. Look, it's doing it. Here's my Xbox controller. It's paired right now, and it's just going around and doing it. Now, this device isn't smart. It doesn't know if you actually got a shiny Pokemon hatched. So you need to go to your Pokedex, and here I have my Grookey. I have my shiny Grookey entry. I have my Score Bunny and my shiny Score Bunny entry, and then I have my Sobble. I can't go left and right, which means that I do not have a shiny Sobble yet. And then, to enable it again, all I have to do is hold down the minus button, it'll vibrate, hit left, and it starts the whole process over. It's that easy. The question is, does it make it too easy? Part of the joy in finding a shiny Pokemon is that you actually worked for it. The other part of that is, look how many shiny Pokemon I have. And the question is, does this start to blur the lines between things that you do to make your life easier and exploiting the game for your convenience? I don't know. That's a moral decision that you have to make. Now keep in mind, while Pokemon Sword and Shield does have a lot of mechanics that can be exploited, mostly by just changing the clock, which is funny enough, this has nothing to do with that. This is literally just a device that puts inputs into the game. So even if the game had no exploits or glitches or anything whatsoever, this would still be able to function properly by just knowing the amount of time that you should be on a bicycle and where the controls are and how they work, just like an Arduino board would do. In fact, it's only a matter of time till someone comes up with an Arduino mod for this, although this kind of takes care of that, doesn't it? Instead of it just being a single A button press, which in this game that can only get you the fossil Pokemon, here you can get any breedable Pokemon shiny. Might take a while, but it can happen. As a standalone controller adapter, it's fantastic. You plug this into the side of your dock and you could use your Xbox One controller, you could use your PlayStation 4 controller. If you're not using those systems and you're using the Switch, it works really well. Like, I have nothing bad to say about it. It just feels weird holding an Xbox controller while playing Pokemon. Know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean. As it stands right now, with its current firmware released, it allows you to do controller inputs or mods or game enhancements for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and they're working on perfecting this. I mean, from my experience, it works perfectly. Or I'll have a link down below if you want to pick one up for yourself, if you want to try it out for its controller functionality, and then try it out for its shiny functionality, and you decide whether or not that it's game breaking or that you actually want to continue using it. That's completely on you. But guys, I want to know your thoughts down below. Is this bordering convenience to cheating? Is it cheating? This is just taking away the autonomous boringness of pressing buttons over and over and over and over and over and over for hours of your life. I don't know. Leave a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.